There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Green Bay Packers. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game, as he'll lose yardage to start things out.
Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses. And this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Rodgers now to throw. Eluding the pressure right.
Pass caught. It's Romeo Doubs. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Now Rodgers.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Divine Diablo.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Now it's Rodgers.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. picked off by Nate Hobbs. And the Raiders are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50.
He got out of the pocket there, was wondering what he was going to do with it, but I think he was calling, his receiver was calling for the ball, wasn't he?
He certainly was. The problem, he called for it too late, and when he delivered, they were all over him in the secondary and came up with the interception.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
On 2nd and 7, Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 33 yards that time. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Carr. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. So Carr exits on 4th down, and on comes Daniel Carlson for the field goal try. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there. All the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
On the out route, Dobbs brings it in.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down.
You can almost hear the siren leap coming from their sideline.
Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And this will be incomplete.
Well, they certainly did a nice job there, picking him up out of the backfield and then running stride for stride with him. That's good coverage, and it led to an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a shotgun hit, and oh, he coughed it up, and the Raiders pick it up. And to the 43, so down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And a little careless there, Charles, on that carry.
And it's not just having 2 hands on the ball. It's tucking it away. It's using your body to keep people shielded off. It's so many different things into taking care of it and having ball security. In that case, though, we didn't see it happen.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
If you're looking for glory, looking to get your name in the headlines, you do not want to play nose tackle. But how about what we just saw there? The ability to hold people up, take on extra blocks, and actually slip them and make a tackle on that play. That's big time.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And the running lane's non-existent in this 1st half as they'll stop him behind the line.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, and more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. No problem. You turn it over, we'll take that, and we'll use it to expand our lead.
About set to get this drive started, the Green Bay offense at the line. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Rodgers' throw finds its target, Dobbs. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a 1st down. Rodgers going to throw. And Rodgers intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Tyree Gillespie. And the Raiders are going to take over a couple of yards shy of midfield. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go to the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run it and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or also just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And Carr gives himself up, but not before he picks up a 1st down. 4 yards there as they let him out of the pocket, and he got enough for the 1st. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Jacobs going to try the middle. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Four yards to go on 2nd down from the 7. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to an even 20. On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Throwing is Rodgers. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki.
And he is going to have a Packers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
They run straight ahead here with Pollard. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Rodgers. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Jonathan Abram picks it. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And he's going to go down. Can't get rid of it, so a sack on a 2-point try. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
Things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Rodgers.
This will be caught downfield by Moore.
Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers to throw. Rodgers sliding to a stop with a first down.
A first red zone opportunity the new year here as they come up now 1st and 10.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll put us within 3 scores as it becomes now a 23-point game. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
1 second, all that remains.
And they're just going to run it here up the middle.
Up to the 20.
So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Pulls it in at the 13.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 21.
He'll give it to Jacobs to start the drive.
And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
What now?
A give, it's Jacobs off the option.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
41 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on 2nd down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Carr. He's got a man, complete.
And he's going to be shoved out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. It's a big play there for Vegas.
45 yards. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Carr escaping the pressure right.
And he finds Waller in the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
A 5-yard touchdown catch.
And the Raiders take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it.
And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40.
It's a big play there for Green Bay. And even 40 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing now is Rodgers. And my goodness, another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it.
And the Raiders will take over here just shy of the 30. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
It's Preston Smith. He gets the sack there.
No question, that was needed by the defense because they're already trailing by a couple of scores. They had to get off the field without allowing another one. That sack on the first play, that may have derailed this drive.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out.
That's into a crowd and intercepted.
Picked off by Darnell Savage.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter, it would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Pollard again. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The offense on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
To throw is Rodgers. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
And they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable 4th quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. They'll get this to the 24, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them. trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
He's going to go up top again, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
A CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
Looking deep for Adams. And that's caught inside the 35.
And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas.
Turning into a really good performance on the road. Week 1, you're just hoping for that first win. It's tough to do it away from home, though, but they're looking strong.
It certainly is. Any road win in the NFL is a great road win. I mean, it just does not matter whether it's supposed to be tough or not. In this particular situation, how great will they feel leaving with a win on the road against a tough opponent?
A little work still to do, though. On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers.
Over the middle here. It's hauled in by Watson. Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Working from the gun. Rodgers. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him the first.
It hasn't been the cleanest game for him, but there was a sign of improvement as he looks towards the next one. Nice bit of scrambling to move the sticks, and even more importantly, he didn't risk adding another interception to his ledger.
On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Over the middle, complete. That's Moore. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 23 yards, the final tally.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
On 2nd and 9, Rodgers
swinging this out for Pollard.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3.
Box it, box it, box it, box it.
Pollard will score. Touchdown, Packers. Well, he finishes off the drive with a touchdown run, Charles. Remember, he also had a catch on this drive as well.
And that's what running backs want to be in today's NFL, a complete back. 3 down, stay on the field, run it, and catch it. And he gets it done.
Extra point right down the middle as they make the score just a slight bit more respectable here in the final quarter of play. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Well, we've reached Well, we've reached the stage where it's a mere formality at this point. They've got the comfortable lead. We know what the outcome is going to be. I guess the only question is, do they want to put more points on the board before the final gun?
Well, I certainly hope not. And I'm being selfish here because you and I have flights to catch. Let's go ahead and finish this one off, guys. You've taken care of business. Let's close it out. And you and I, let's get to the airport.
Running straight ahead is Jacobs. Room here to run.
70 yards on the ground here for Jacobs, and this is a first down. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play.
But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
694. 724. 618.
Carr to throw for it on fourth down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Jair Alexander.
And the Packers are going to take possession of the football.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other. But it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
88, 88, 88. 26. Go to 50. Hey, you block over here.
So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he rifles one incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's Rodgers.
That pass complete to Moore.
Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. That'll give them 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and just a couple. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Man, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now Rodgers. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go in the game. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man and try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And he is going to be smothered in the backfield again as he ran into a wall there.
630.
he fakes the spike.
I think here the score dictates you pretty much got to go for it.
But when you look at the scoreboard and you realize that 3 doesn't do you a whole lot of good in this situation, you're exactly right. Dial up one of your better plays and get after it. Forget the field goal kicker. He doesn't matter.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They can't hook up on 4th and goal from the 4, and the Raiders hang tough down near the goal line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter. Now one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will come to an end. CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Las Vegas, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag